Yes, we've got more movement this week in college football when it comes to the Heisman watch atop the BetMGM odds. Still value on just about everybody. I guess you could make that argument. The favorite is John Mateer. That's no surprise, of Oklahoma, 7-1. The big change, though, after the blowout performance of that vaunted Illini defense. Mendoza, 9-1. Out of Indiana. Your third favorite in the 12-1 range, we've got Dante Moore and Carson Beck, all quarterbacks so far. 14-1, Gunnar Stockton. Marcel Reed is 15-1. Nussmeier, they don't really know. Like, we could sit here and say John Mateer's the favorite. John Mateer's the favorite. Sam, it's not a low number. It's not like sub 5. We're not at that point in the season because there are a handful of teams that haven't played any conference games yet. And Oklahoma's only played one, and it was Auburn.
Yet, fourth quarter, it's him with the rushing touchdown, making the play. Were the numbers gaudy? No. But that's a tough test against a very good Auburn team that a lot of people like this year. Auburn was in it the whole way. Then you had the safety. So anybody laying 6.5 covered, and anybody taking 6.5 did not.
And
but
you better believe that made bad beats last night.
Oh, it should have. I had a friend in Last Man Standing. You know what Last Man Standing is? You pick a game against the spread every week until you get it wrong, and then you're out. I had a buddy go Auburn plus 6.5. He's out. It's gone. Season's over.
Took a bad number.
Yes, but
so what happens in a push? What do they do there?
Out. In this one, you're out. You have to win. Ties lose. Like in Survivor. You know, in Survivor, in most pools, if you pick a game that lands in a tie, you're out because you didn't win. And the counter to that is, well, I didn't lose. Well, you didn't win. It's really how you shape it. What I can see across every book is that Mateer is your consensus favorite. I mean, he's favored at, well, actually, I take that back. At one book, Mendoza is actually favored. One book, one outlier. But Mateer's the guy, and you have him at what, 22-1? Your first bet? 22, 24?
I bet him twice. Like yeah. I'll look. I think it's 22, somewhere in that range. I did not get the 30s that were available, but yes, then was it 10, 11, somewhere around there? Yeah, then I'll check. I'll get back to you on that. But yes, did bet him twice, back-to-back weeks. Looking ahead, okay, if you take out Auburn, now we've got a bye, then we've got Kent State, and then it all starts going. Figuring, okay, if Oklahoma's 5-0 and the hype is real, this number is going to be long gone. So the 7, I wouldn't say it's long gone, but he is the favorite. Not when you want to bet him.
You have a huge game this week with big-time Heisman implications. And, of course, that's the Big Ten game in Happy Valley. Oregon goes on the road to take on Penn State. And you're going to see these guys shift. It all obviously depends on who wins. But Dante Moore at most places is your third favorite. MGM has him 12-1. Drew Allar, 30-1. BetMGM.
Yes.
I don't even like Drew Allar. I'm not an Allar guy. But if you're looking to make a move here and Penn State actually shows something on offense, which it's a very polarizing topic. Some people think that they've just played dead. Others say, no, they stink. The truth is probably in the middle, as it often is. I don't think that Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, was trying to empty the clip against those 3 bad teams they played. I mean, what do you need to do against Villanova and teams like that to win? You don't need to show anything. Some people think that they're broken. I don't know. We'll find out Saturday. Penn State, a 3.5 point favorite. But if Drew Allar throws 3 touchdown passes against Oregon and knocks off a top 5 team at home, what's the 30-1? We talked about this a couple weeks ago, and we were sort of hinting at how huge this game was for this market. Conversely, you have to paint both sides. If Dante Moore goes into Happy Valley and shreds Penn State, he might be the favorite on Sunday morning. So this is a huge game where you have 2 quarterbacks at elite programs facing off head-to-head. This is, we can talk about Ohio State, Texas. That was a huge game. Number 1 against number 3. But for the Heisman market, this is the biggest game so far between Moore and Allar.
Yeah, I keep staring at this number. This is a name that we bring up every single week, and he hasn't had a game where you've been blown away. Talking about Allar, and I'm just looking at that 30, like, man, this is a huge game. So here's what's holding me back, even though it probably shouldn't at the number of 30-1. What's holding me back on Allar is how Penn State is going to win. They're going to win via the run game. If they win and cover this weekend against Oregon, it's probably going to be the run game. Ducks struggle with their rush defense, and you would think going against Penn State, that's where they're going to have a lot of issues. So if they're winning with their run game, that's why they're championship contenders. Is Allar going to get a lot of the credit? And right now, there are a lot of quarterbacks that are in the conversation right now. If they win, what does this number go to? What range is he in? Because he's behind a lot of guys right now.
It depends on what he does. I think, unfortunately, though, people are looking at what he's done and not what he can do. And this is how betting works. When everybody says he stinks and I can't bet it, that's generally the time to bet it. And again, I'm not even a big Drew Allar fan. I think Bo Prabula is better, the kid who transferred to Mizzou. I think he's better. Allar has 4 touchdown passes in 3 games. Nevada, Florida International, Villanova. Well, how's he going to do this against Oregon? Well, I don't know. I don't have that answer. But if he does, man, that 30 could go to 15. It could get cut right in half. The problem is I don't find myself betting it. I'm not going to do it. Like, I've thought about it, but these are conversations I've had with myself. Wow, he was 15-1 before the season, 16-1. Now he's 30. This would fundamentally be the time to buy. Then you look at his quarterback rating, and it's 106 in the country. You're like, probably not the Heisman winner. So maybe a pass on Drew Allar. I do like Penn State in the game, but if Penn State wins, you mentioned the running game. How about their defense? That's how they're going to win the game. If they win. If they beat Oregon, it'll be a smothering on the defensive side of the ball. They've held teams to 17 points in 3 games. Granted, not the greatest competition in the world, but 11-0-6. That's a defensive football team that's going to run the ball and use the quarterback to manage the ball. He's probably not going to throw 3 touchdown passes. So I think I'm out on Allar.
All right, a name I brought up in the past that, statistically, he checks a lot of boxes, best in the country, but they haven't played anybody. Quarterback rating number 1, QBR number 1, and I'm talking about Maiava. USC has played Missouri State, Georgia Southern, Purdue, most recently Michigan State. Illinois, Michigan, Notre Dame are next. You think he can win the award? Like, what does USC have to do? Where do they have to finish? Must they be in the playoff? Do they need to be in the Big Ten championship game? The numbers are probably going to be there for him. But what sort of team success do we need to see?
9 wins. I've always thought 9 is the benchmark, and that's very possible. Have you seen the line for USC Illinois, by the way? Got out to 7 yesterday after our show. USC laying 7 on the road. So nobody wants a part of Illinois. USC is going to score. I don't know that they're going to win. I mean, they should as a 6.5-point favorite now, but that's probably a spot where he puts up numbers. Notre Dame's defense doesn't look to be anything special. And then you go to Oregon end of the season. That's a game where he could really cement himself in that conversation, to be in New York, to be one of the 3 or 4 finalists.